For too long now, we've been cast down, labeled inferior, ranked low, positioned under, buried beneath the lies. Lies that are buried in the laws that govern the system that has always persisted. And this persistent denial is symptomatic. This country is a system addict. And you've been getting high on your own supply, this drug of supremacy manufactured in your mind, doing whatever it takes, no matter what it takes, to maintain that high. For too long now, we've been persecuted, denied our rights. We've never really lived without having to fight, even now. We're fighting today for our children's tomorrows, just like our ancestors fought for hours, every day for years, hope against hate, faith against fears. For too long now. How long is too long? More than 400 years now. We've always had to fight for what is ours by right, waiting for America to do what is right. And let's be fair, you've been fighting too, for jobs and communities and better schools, for clean air and water and health care too, for liberty and justice for all who look like you. But the reality is different for those who look like me, Black suffering. From ropes in trees to streets and knees, the flesh of our necks buried between. We can't breathe. Black lives that mattered, bruised and battered, blood splattered, bodies scattered across the streets of this country like pieces of a broken dream. That dream, the dream that one day this country would rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. Because we too sing America. We help build America. So we have equal rights to the deed. But indeed, we continue to be victims of injustice because of underzealous investigations, and we continue to be the target of lopsided regulations. You make the rules, we play the game. You lose, you change the rules of the game. The stakes get higher, you go lower. More devious, more evil, more inhumane. Your fantasies and the realities are colliding. You're starting to come down off your high. You're getting more desperate now because you're starting to see the signs. The waves of injustice are capsizing because justice is rising. From the spirit of our ancestors and the groundwork they laid, through the songs they sang and the prayers they prayed, justice is rising in the fists that are raised, the fist of those who insist that we demand more. Justice is rising throughout the streets of this country. It's rising from the Senate floor. It's rising at the polls. It's rising in the booth. It's rising for equality. It's rising for truth. It's rising in our seniors. It's rising in our youth. It's rising against hypocrisy. It's rising for democracy, a democracy that chose a new administration. It's rising in increased voter education. It's rising in historic voter registration, rising to rid this country of self-serving legislation. Justice is rising, and the revolution is being televised, exposing your schemes, exposing your lies, and all the different tricks you've tried. Justice is rising, and we must keep working because faith without works is dead. Justice has a color, and that color is red. Red is the color of the blood that Jesus shed, the blood that has never lost its power. By faith, justice is seeing its finest hour. Justice is rising because we can no longer wait. It's rising through hope and love by faith. Faith that endures, faith that believes, faith that demands that justice is not just a dream. Justice is rising throughout this world in every oppressed man, woman, boy, and girl. From generation to generation, from Genesis to Revelation, as we seek to do the work that Jesus did and greater works even than he, opening the eyes of the blind and setting the captives free. Justice is rising so we are no longer bound. It's rising up from the underground where cries for freedom still resound. Justice is rising by the promise of God, by the power of God, to the glory of God.